Hello guys, Stibo here. Today I want to talk with you about Bitcoin because I think Bitcoin will break out to the upside soon, and I want to show you how we can actually trade this. Okay, and I want to show you also the fundamentals behind Bitcoin now and my long-term view, my long-term profit area. Okay, so first I want to show you why it is so important to look at Bitcoin now and not actually when Bitcoin is in the big bull run. Because most of the retail investors got in here, and most of these people actually made a big loss or lost their entire money because they sold here or here, because they had panic that Bitcoin is going to zero. So we can actually confirm this with the Bitcoin, with the Google Trends, and we're looking for Bitcoin. So we can actually see that the search volume was highest on yeah, it was so it was the 17th December to 28 about, and this what was right here, as you can see, 18 December of 2017, and here we had the 16th, so this was the 18th, yeah, 17 to 23, and here we got the highest search volume for Bitcoin. This actually means that the most retail investors got in here when Bitcoin actually reached the all-time high. So we are now going to the daily chart. So we can see that the Bitcoin price is held down of this big resistance line right here. We can now see a big symmetrical triangle. This is actually a bullish symmetrical triangle because it came from a bullish trend to the symmetrical triangle, and in most of the cases, sorry guys, so in most of the cases the Bitcoin price is actually going to the upside. We can look now for statistics on this website. They say that in 63% of the cases the exit from a bullish symmetrical triangle is bullish. In 90% of the cases the upward movement continues after exiting the triangle. So this means actually that even if Bitcoin breaks to the downside, makes a false breakout and can push higher. In 90% of the cases, the price is going to the upside, even if it breaks to the downside in the short term. Okay? Then, in 81% of the cases, the price manages to reach the trend price objective in the event of an upward exit. This means actually that if we take, we can actually measure our take profit for this pattern right here. We take it from the low to the high, and then it's like I would take it from here to there because it's quite obvious. So if we take it to right here, this would lead the breaker to about $10,900. Okay, and in 81% of the cases the price managed to reach the triangle price objective. In 60% of the cases the price makes a pullback in support on the triangle's resistance line. So this means that in 60% of the cases the price breaks out, makes a pullback, and then continues. Okay, and in 16% of the cases the price makes false breaks in the support resistance lines, false exits from the bullish symmetric triangle. So this means actually we can break to the downside, but then we're going to the upside. So this was just statistics, and this are not the norm, guys, but this is the statistic about the overall bullish triangle pattern. Okay. So if we look at this price in terms of supply and demand, what we can see right here, we can see here this beautiful demand zone right here. We actually broke the resistance, which means this is a valid demand zone. We can actually see this bullish move out of the demand zone. We can see this compression, and right now we're about to retest this demand zone. We can also see here a supply area which actually got retested once, and it pressed the price down into the demand zone right here. So this zone right here might not be valid anymore because it has already one touch. But what I could imagine is that we break out, make a retest, and then we go through that supply area, or even we could even go to the demand zone and then break through the supply zone, make maybe a retest at the last high, and then going upwards. What is also possible that that the price goes right through the supply area and we are going right to our target objective before we see a little retrace, and then we're going a lot higher. So once Bitcoin actually breaks this big resistance line here, we can expect the next bull run. If we compare that to, so let's remove this real quick. We can compare that to the last halvings. So the first halving was right about here. The second halving was right about here. So we draw our trend lines again. Then I want to show you my Fibonacci with the extensions. So after the first halving, if we draw it from the high to the low, we can see that the price gone up to about the 40 Fibonacci. On the second, after the second halving, from the high to our low, we can see that the price actually went to about the 20 Fibonacci. And if we are now drawing that from our high to our low, we can see that our next profit area will be right about here. This will be between 330k to about 650k. Here is where I actually want to take my profits. Can also lay down the chart from the halving to the top, from our halving right now, and from the second halving to the top, and we laid right now to the the halving. So then we actually can see that this also goes right to our profit area. Okay, and this is actually what I expect, that the price will reach this area right here. It will need about, if we take it from here to here, so we can see that this takes us about to the 15th November of 21. So this means that the bull run here, if we took that based on the historical data, the bull run lasted about 1.5 years, and this could be about the same now in the future. Okay, so, and why do I think that Bitcoin is going so high? Because of the underlying fundamentals. The Bitcoin network is stronger than ever before. More and more people are using Bitcoin and are becoming aware of the Bitcoin. Yeah, so if we look at some data at glassnode.com, I want to start with the addresses with a balance above 0.01 Bitcoin. We can actually see that the addresses are now at near the all-time high, with about 0.1 addresses. It's also about all-time high. With over 1 Bitcoin, it's about the all-time high. With over 10 Bitcoins, it's about, it's a little bit consolidating, and I think that's completely normal, because it's as the price rises with Bitcoin, it's harder to get more Bitcoins, because you need more money to have more Bitcoins, so it's harder to get more Bitcoins, and that's completely normal. So once the price actually reaches 300k, there will be less addresses with 100 or 1k Bitcoins than there was before, because the people need more money to buy more Bitcoin. Okay, so actually we can see that the addresses with over 1,000 Bitcoins are increasing. So this means that the Bitcoin weights are accumulating, since the last all-time high. They are accumulating Bitcoins, and this means they're expecting another bull run. Yeah, actually with over 10,000 Bitcoins, it's consolidating, but I think with over 10,000 Bitcoins, we will never reach so much addresses in the future, because it's nearly impossible. It's nearly impossible that so if we calculate it real quick, 10,000 multiply 10,000, they need about 100 million US dollar to buy 10,000 Bitcoin right now. But in the future, if Bitcoin once reached 300,000, they need about 3 billion US dollar to have 10,000 Bitcoin in their addresses. Okay, so it's actually a lot harder to get so much Bitcoins. So then I want to show you some data from the exchanges, from the exchange balances. So we can see right now that the balance on the exchanges is decreasing, which means that the traders are actually putting their Bitcoins to a cold storage or to a Bitcoin wallet, so they are preparing for the next bull run. They won't sell the Bitcoins anytime soon. Okay, if they want to sell the Bitcoins, they will hold the balance on exchanges and they will not move the Bitcoins off the exchanges. Okay, so this is very bullish for Bitcoin. If we now look to the active supply, last move between 5 and 7 years ago, we can see that the supply is actually decreasing, which means that the long-term holders on Bitcoin, they are holding their Bitcoins and are not selling it. If they're selling the Bitcoins, then the chart right here, the line would go up like here. So it's actually falling, which means there's less selling pressure on the Bitcoin. And this is actually very bullish. This is very good for Bitcoin. So, guys, let me know what you think about Bitcoin. Do you think we're going to break out to the upside or to the downside? Let me know in the comments. What I also will show you now, where I would actually, or how you could trade this pattern. So you draw your trend lines, then you wait for the breakout of the trend line for a big daily candle. Yeah, it should look like this, and you use the volume indicator. You want to see a big spike of volume right about this, or it could also be a little bit lower like this. So you look for that big spike in volume, which actually confirms a breakout. And if there is no volume with a breakout, then you could expect a big drop, because the weights are trapping the buyers. Okay, and then you can actually wait for the move down, for the first impulse, and then you're going to buy, because I think then we're going to break to the upside. But I think we will not see a false breakout, because this is a bullish continuation pattern, and this is also a reaccumulation area where a lot of people are buying. So actually, I think because of the underlying fundamentals and the data now, and we also see PayPal is soon selling crypto to the users, so this actually will push the price a lot higher. And because I think this is a reaccumulation area, this makes me believe that the price is going upwards from the breakout. Okay, I actually think that the breakout of Bitcoin will be very, very fast, and we could see a big candle, a big daily candle to the upside, and I think this daily candle will be over 1000. We might even see a big daily candle like this, because the price is consolidating so long in this pattern that the buyers and the sellers are irritated what they should do. And once the price breaks out, the buyers or the sellers are stepping in, and they will push the price really quick to the upside. Okay, these are my final thoughts, guys. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you think about Bitcoin in general, what you think about the next bull run. Are you bearish or bullish? Do you think that Bitcoin is going to zero? Let me know, guys. Bye.